So we'll wait. We'll wait. Who will be at the live stream tonight? Because Sci-Fi Nation is not already all online, and there are a lot of people like they are not online right now. We'll wait. The people. You have to speak. So one person is online. Identify yourself. Because I will go to sleep. I think I didn't get any phone call from my job. No. So I'm not gonna work this night. That is not a big deal. I need money. I need more contract. We have a second person on this live stream. Identify yourself. Oh, Cinnamon Bunny. Cinnamon Bunny, how are you? Glad to see you now. Here. You are now identified. So we have a third person that could identify it. It's no. That we have a third person? Yes, Bird 5 is there. Glad to see you, Bird. I was not for long on your live stream. I have something to do. Now, look at that. I have my hat. So how do you do? I decided to go buy some Pepsi Light because Pepsi Light, Diet Pepsi was a ticket of doom. Comrades, really glad to see you. You are three right now. So I went to, we have a food store not so far from here, like 5 minutes of walk. And I went to buy like Diet Pepsi. And when I arrived there, I watched, the Music Gun Man. Glad to see you. Yes. Everybody's coming right now. It's good. Everybody saw that I'm live. So we'll get a good stream. Stop touching your face. I'll not do that. I wash my hands, by the way. I did it. That's the most important, washing your hands. So what I can say, I was at the food store, a grocery, and I was there for Diet Pepsi, and I said, I will watch what's going on with the toilet paper. It's just for fun. I said, this is a small grocery, so I think this is not the Costco frenzy and all that shit. Certainly, we still have toilet paper. And I arrived there. There was no toilet paper at all again. And there was like a woman there, and I started a little bit to laugh. And she said, and she was really angry. She said, people are idiots. For people like me that just want to do their grocery normally, that's disgusting. They are fucking idiot. And there was like a paper, or the toilet paper saying only 2 items by a customer for the respect of our customer. You are fourth right now. Someone didn't identify themselves. No, I think yes. I say everybody identify. Fifth, we have a fifth person. Identify yourself. So she was really angry, and I point like the Scott towels. There was full Scott towels there. So people they think they are an emergency, but they are not so much. That's crazy. So no, Bird will not touch your face. I know it was the first person that came, but the fifth one, I want to know, identify yourself. So that's the point. It's completely idiotic, crazy, insane. We are stuck between two kind of idiots: the charlatans, the denier, people pretending that no, it's unfound and blah blah blah, and the people are completely insane. Buying toilet paper because they saw that on the internet. When there was that kind of that's when frenzy spread on the internet. Sometimes it was sometimes stupid, but not at this point. The ice bucket challenge bring money against concussion stuff. Right now, that's a frenzy, completely idiotic. If you want to know, I think more you have bought toilet paper, more you deserve to have the virus. So we have 7 people on the stream. Identify yourself. I want to know 6 now. 7, 6, 7. Pretty sure that we are more than before. So guys, don't believe the charlatans. I was so angry when we got the stream of DG at DC. I was so angry against that guy that first pretend to be a doctor, what I'm sure it's absolutely false. No doctor will speak as he spoke. And what made me even more angry that there are people that believe them. And I personally say, oh, you are freedom of speech. And that kind of charlatans in that kind of crazes should not have the possibility to disinform people, because exactly there were people that would believe him, and it would be a big problem. The multi-god man, you have bronchitis right now, so you are sure the doctor said to you and everything. So be careful, because this is possible that you have a problem with that virus, but we need to not jump to conclusion. Tiki of Doom, sure, bronchitis. Oh, Tiki of Doom. You think that the multi-god man now is has the virus? I don't know. Now in my city we have 4 cases, and one of them is a person that is a sportsman from Europe. He's locked down right now. He's in quarantine in the hotel where sometime I'm working. For now, maybe I will work this night if because we have the person working during the night at that hotel for our company as 73 years old. So he's part of the people that should stay at home. There is a little germ just dropping by to say hi. Hopefully I'll be back before the end. We'll hope, but it was nice from you, Result Germ, to show up. I'm really glad. You can bring guests to join us, guys. I would be happy. We are always the same group of guys. You are the best. The best are coming to my stream. The worst hate me. The best are coming on the stream. But I mean, if you have other good people, interesting people that are not charlatans, people that are not buying all the toilet paper everywhere, you can envy them there. Who will speak will be interesting. If their name is not like Jeff Franklin, if they are not Jeff Franklin, come to us. Together, I hope it's just that. So right now, don't believe the charlatans. This is really important. Don't believe the charlatans. We need all to be disciplined and run away from the charlatans and don't listen what they are saying. So right now, as you can see in that direction, like that, I have a new Mabel. Before it was that Mabel that was there. That small library was in that corner there. There was a small stuff. Is already another small Mabel. I move it there because I have problem now. I have too much comics for the Mabels I had in my room. So I bought. I didn't bought it. It was stock. So I bring it down in my room and I put it there. And this is interesting because you have more place for the action figure than I had on the small one. To give them me too, I'm getting worried every time I cough. Although I do smoke a lot, so it's probably that. So, well, we can make jokes, guys, but we need to take it seriously. I mean, we can joke about it, and at the same time, we can joke, and at the same time, taking our responsibility by washing our hands and all that stuff. So, no problem. So that's I put all my hockey cards that were like classified in the scrapbook and all that stuff, and I transferred them in that Mabel because that Mabel is better for that. I mean, is higher, so each tablet has more spaces. The Multigan said, "I wash my hands a lot, and I keep a distance between me and sick people." Yes, you do it right. So, and avoid big crowd. Now they close cinemas, they close the bars, and what is the next thing? They close the library. So someplace like that they closed. We still have the restaurant. You can go to the restaurant, but they just now allowed to have all of the people that they have generated. So they increased the recommendation, the restrictions. When I was going to the grocery, there was in that same where they are the groceries, there was at one place they are a bar, and they are also on the way they are a bar. This is in the same shopping center. They are a bar and they are the cinema. So they closed them. That's fair. I wanted to go to Moulin, but I think it was not be possible. It started on 23 March. We'll see which film will be there when the cinema will still open. Personally, I think it will not for a long time. I think we will be able to, after 3 weeks or maximum a month, we will bring back to the normal situation. But a lot will depend of how the United States will able to control the virus. Obviously, they didn't have. You didn't have a so great president to do the job. Now they start to try to do something. It will be interesting to see if this is a real mean to fight the coronavirus, or if it will be some kind of fireworks to keep the people shut. But of course, it will be hard because now there are a lot of misinformation. I can speak. It's not the first time we have the denial. First, we have the crazy vaxxers that are fucking idiots. But we'll take an example. I speak about Russia. In Russia, there was like a movement on the internet denying AIDS. So they say, AIDS doesn't exist. That's a hoax. It's created a lot of problem for the government because the Russian government can mistrust a lot of stuff. But when they fought AIDS, and it was said to people to take people that had the VIH to take their medicaments to take care, to use obviously to use condom, control what happened with and when they fight hepatitis C, there was that kind of movement on the internet denying that kind of sickness, and people got sick, people died because of that. So that kind of insane people, we don't exactly know what their motivation, or they are just completely insane, they are crackpot, or they are like, I don't know, nihilist idiot, or dangerous troll. What kind of people they are, I don't know, religious fanatics. But please, don't believe that people. I know that in our community there are a lot of people that they distrust the government, and I understand that you can't trust the government on everything. But when it's a question of scientific fact, when they are a human crisis, a sanitary crisis like that, there are two ways you can go. You can take the risk to be too much prudent for nothing, and maybe finally, or you can take the risk to hurt people and make them sick. So it's better to follow recommendation for nothing, that not follow the recommendation and bring more people to be sick and all that stuff. So obviously, I prefer to example, if when they are sanitary crisis, I don't consider that as a hoax at all. It's impossible that it's a hoax. People thinking this is a hoax are a crackpot. But if it will be a hoax, I prefer to fall in that kind of hoax. That example, thinking that is a hoax, doing nothing, and bring more people to be sick. So it's better to do more than less in that situation, guys. Do it. Listen to me. That's the best thing to do. So don't be serious. Be disciplined. And this is all our people at risk. When they speak about people at risk, it's look a little bit like I said, for some people like risk. Who it is? People like risk. The people that are weaker, that can be suffer of that. This is people that I have asthma. I'm part of it. Uh, Bird of prey in a situation is in a physical situation, and we know you have a condition, that kind of condition, and the virus can be more dangerous for him than other people. You don't want to be to do stuff. Maybe the 301, then I get sick and then I die. That's another story. But everybody like bird of prey. So when you ask, then that is important or not to wash my hands and follow the recommendation. Think about the fact that everybody, not from you, protect bird of prey. But maybe not. If you like me, think about me. If you are part of my haters, at least think about bird. So that's something like that. I said, bird of prey, Carogans are immune. Maybe, but right now you are in New York, so I know that in Caroga people are immune, maybe, but you are in New York, so you are a leader, a distant leader. I mean, you lead Caroga from New York, so you need to think about it. The Mills comment said, in Saskatchewan, we are only got 6 bird. In Saskatchewan, you have got 6 cases of that virus so far, a very small amount. And Carogans are immune because Caroga created the virus as a weapon to be used against Kurdistan. That's a theory as another. I want just to say, in Saskatchewan, they are, let's come in, they are like the chart, they are 2 different things. They are the official people getting sick, the official people that have been tested and we saw that they are sick, and they are like what we speak the real situation. So the real situation is that the government can't know all people that are sick. The only people, when a person dies, that person is obviously like record somewhere, and they are in autopsy from what that people die, and we see this is coronavirus. So you need to calculate, really, if you want to that, to know what is the real amount of people sick in the area, you need to go by the statistic. So you look the number of dead people from the coronavirus, and you watch by the number of and you can extrapolate how many people right now are sick or have or are host of the virus in the region. So it's very different. Like in Washington State, they under test. They didn't have what it need. They were in a situation where generally the virus killed 3% of the people they attacked. But they were in a situation with the death they had, if they were comparing in the Washington states, where they had for every infect people that they known, there was like 33% of death. That doesn't make any sense. So the question is, this is because they know who died, but they didn't know exactly what was the real case on the field. When we extrapolate, they had the chart. I don't know all the chart by heart, but it's mean that even if there was maybe like something like 25 or 30 people that they were officially infected in the Washington State, that chart and that statistic bring to understand that there was 1,600, approximately 1,600 people in fact in Washington State, and this is a lot of people. So right now I know that in Canada nobody died already. As I know, nobody died. There are something like 300 official cases, no death. So it means that maybe we for now succeed in the north to follow. We have been better. We have a better organization in case of mass health care. because I mean, the United States, they take care of people that have insurance or have the money generally, or a part of the people that are have disabilities or everything on the Medicare. But here we provide healthcare services to everybody. In that case of situation, we are more better organized for mass services of healthcare. So it's mean that in that case we are more better organized for detect and doing mass test on the population. So it's our hello Alexander Brooks. Oh, really glad to see you. It's great. We have 6 people, like, so if you can identify to yourself all of them, I will be really glad. So it's mean that in fact maybe that there are more people in Saskatchewan that are sick right now, that 6 cases, but by the number of death they are right now, we can assume that this is maybe numbers that are close to the reality. What is really different with the United States, or really the under test the people, they didn't act quickly, and we have the problem. Good to see you, Alexander Brooks. I'm really glad to see you here. That's fine. We have 7 people right now, 8 people right now on the stream. So that's the point. So we will really see what's going on and you know, and this is even more true for us in the north. Right now, as I know, in Montreal, they got some people that then came back sick. Some were from Europe, but other from the United States. And let's look at the biggest, actually, where they are the most people with the coronavirus. In the north of the United States. This is in British Columbia, and this is the closest province to Washington State. So it will not be surprised for Asia or the Europe that the main sources of the increase of the infection is coming from the United States. This is the reason why it's so important that finally the United States does its job to fight the coronavirus properly. And obviously, I mean, they start late, and this is not good. Right now, they test the people in the airport, but that's not forcefully effective. I saw the press conferences from Mike Pence. I mean, what he explained about how to do stuff was just basic stuff. I mean, this is not the kind of, I said, this is not the kind of intervention you do preventively. This is a preventive. He bring on the table the preventive way to fight the coronavirus, not the emergency way. You know. So right now in the United States, they start to act like if they do. Bonsoir, 47 New York Town. Really glad to see you here. I'm really glad to see you here. You're welcome. So right now, they act like if it was a preventive way in the United States. This is what they started. Preventive work, when in fact it's maybe too late for prevention. And right now, they need to act as it is a crisis. And it's maybe possible, actually, the country, because the situation is getting better in China, is decreasing. The virus is decreasing, but now it's spread outside, and the big crises like are in Italy, Spain. It is a crisis. The worst place is that in Italy, officially in France, Italy, Spain, still South Korea is really strong. Japan is really better than we could think, because Japan have been learned from the situation with SRAS in the past, and they succeed to fight them. So the Japanese are really well organized to fight that kind of epidemic. I mean, the population there is so much concentrated that with the years and with times, they succeed to find They are certainly one of the most organized country to fight that kind of stuff. But right now in the United States, I mean, they are starting preventive work when in fact they should be in an emergency. I mean, it's long and long. And the Senate, Mitch McConnell and his pals from the Republicans, they block the expansion of Medicare to use Medicare for all for the time of the crisis in the pandemic, and this is criminal. I mean, if a lot of people are dying, that guys need to go to jail, nothing less. So we'll see. I hope that we'll be able to protect ourselves from that. But this is the beginning of my stream today. Don't trust the charlatans. Be responsible. I mean, I know this is not popular to say, but at this point, you need to trust the official release from the international health organizations. Reason of Jim. Only a lot of people aren't dying in the United States. You know, I will explain something to you. Resolute Jim. The fact is that you are a big country, 360 million people. There are people dying in the United States every day, a lot of them, for a lot of stuff. If you don't do the proper statistic, a lot of people can die from the same sickness. And if the statistic and the test and all that stuff are not done properly, people in their daily life can at some point don't see really it. They don't see the amplitude. Because that's the point. If 3% of the population is dying in the United States, they will not forcibly die in the streets in front of you. They will not forcibly die walking on the streets. They will not forcibly die, be healthy a day and death the other day. That's not like that's not like the pneumonic version of the plague. This is a really, really altered flu, really dangerous, and an altered grip that is very dangerous, and you die slowly from it, not really fast. And in that kind of situation, if you don't do the statistic and if you don't cover the stuff, I will insert to you to Key of Doom after that. If you don't answer properly to the question, if you don't do the statistic, if you don't report it really much, as it was done in the United States when they negligate the test and all the stuff, at the end of the day, I mean, 3% of the population in the United States can die, and people maybe can continue to live if this is not a huge crisis, because they will think that, I don't know, they will find anything to say that. When you can see, yeah, of course, when you are in a situation like the Black Plague, or 50% of the population is dying and quickly, I mean, obviously people will see daily and in 24 hours the differences, because all of the people are dying around you quickly with no services. If 3% of the population dies in 2 months, or if like 1.5% of the population is dying, because not everybody will be, not everybody will get the sickness. But if, example, you have 1% of the population dying in the United States, I mean, a lot of that people will have no means to go to the hospital of anything. Some people will be already sick at some point at the end. If you don't search, don't do your research, don't do your statistic about it, because you don't really care. This is not the duty of the state to give health care to everybody. I mean, you arrive in a situation where you have maybe some like 20 million people that will die in 2 months, and at the end of the day, people say, "Oh, we don't know. It was really cold. It was really that stuff." I mean, if you don't take the time to analyze it, if you don't officialize it, if you negate it, I mean, a lot of people are dying and it's not forcibly in your day-to-day life very obvious. I think you have done a communist country cause that tough. I mean, the Communist Party of China is at the power, but China is not a communist country. Anyway, when we speak about, I need to repeat it, communist states doesn't exist. We speak about a socialist state that target to go to a situation, a social evolution named communism. And communism, people don't need the states to be able to work together in cooperation. That's the situation. In China, the Communist Party is at the power, but history made that actually the Communist Party of China rule one of the maybe where savage capitalism is at its peak in China. So when I have Chinese people coming here, they say that we are here more communist than in China. So you understand, this is the point. And I mean, the Popular Republic of China, I mean, when the crisis arrive at some point, take really radical measures and succeed to fight it. But the point is that at the beginning, they let it go. We can understand that China was the first to be struck, the first country to be struck by that. So they act slowly. So they didn't have the possibility to learn from the others from that sickness. But in the other case, what is not the case from Italy or France or Germany, Spain, and the United States, they were able to know what's going on if if the governments there had did their homework. For the South Korea, they were well organized, like in Japan, but they got what they name a super spreader. That's someone that is in a situation where is in contact with a lot of people on really short time, and if he gets sick, is able to infect a ton of people in this kind of situation. And in that case, you are really unlucky because he infect a lot of people, and it is not forcibly his fault. Reasonable gem. But the thing is, they haven't contained it. They just stop reporting. In China, I'm not sure that is the case. The Republic, I mean, China China is paying the price for that. They stop everything. They stop everything. All the factory. It was, the scientist that studied climate warming, climate change. They look. They have like tools and all that stuff. There are possibility to them to study grass gas. They are like every country is doing, and this is by satellite and all that stuff. And China, when they start to fight the coronavirus in an effective way, I mean, the pollution fall really quickly, and it's dived instantly because they closed a lot, the majority of their factories. They had to close the transport and all that stuff. So it's mean that exactly China fought it, but that at this point we think that China is under control. It doesn't mean that the virus came back to China also. But the problem with, and we can say, with who didn't contain it right now, the big problem right now is coming in the United States. And this is the place where obviously the government didn't take their responsibility for now. So China is to blame for some aspect at the beginning. Now they succeed to decrease the situation, and they are sending team that got experiences in the UN situation. In Italy, example, they are a Chinese specialist going that helps right now Italy in their situation, in their crisis. And so in that point, I mean, China is the source of that. But at this point, at some points, a government taking more responsibility than others. So, Result Jam, they were giving a bullshit number from day one, and you really think they just started telling the truth? I will never trust the Chinese government, not more than even that's not a government that obviously is when I said um, really clear on the statistics. You can believe them for the majority of the stuff, but on the other part of that, there are something in the case of China, and this is linked to the culture in China. I mean, in China, what is really the most important thing for Chinese is to not lose the face. So at the beginning, they thought that not lose the face was at first to lie. And they are, I mean, unfortunately, this is what you see often from the Chinese government. And they start to lie in a statistic thinking that they can put it under control and that nobody will see what happened. And after that, they will fix that. And no, and after that, they will say, "Oh, it was a rumors. What going on? There are nothing there." But when they lose control of something, when it's become so big and so and it became so much a shame for them, at this point, they go in the complete other direction. They are able to do 180 degrees and decide that the only way to not lose forever the face is to really fix the problem, and after that, even and to clean the mess that they did. So this is the differences because in the Chinese culture, as I said, the ideologic priority are not the same than in the United States. Right now, the government in the United States, their priority is to protect the private ownership of the mean of production. This is the case. Mitch McDonald, if he choose to make concession of the mean of production or the organization of the mean of production, in that case, the healthcare system, or let people die, he will let people die. In China, the priority is to not lose the face. That's really the. I mean, when you know the situation in China, don't lose the face. Don't be ashamed in front of the entire population. So at this point, an entire world. So we need to be the China proud. Don't lose their face. So the problem is that they will deny the problem until the point they are not able to deny anything. And at this point, they will take really strong and crazy measure to fix this real and be able to open the place and say, "Oh, we fix all that, all things." Because at the end of the day, the better lie you can have is the truth. Um, the Epic Bird said, "Is this the fraud news?" Okay. Resolute Charm. If the government tries to take over healthcare, it will fall apart. Resolute Charm, this is not what we see here at this point. Healthcare didn't fall apart here. Healthcare is for the mean we have, the quantity of people we have to heal, and all the stuff we are doing by person by head of inhabitant better than the United States, and this is the states that cover healthcare right now here. So obviously, I mean, in the United States, if you let the private sector take care of an abomination like right now, they will have no problem to let people die. And we saw it in the big Great Depression in the 30s. I mean, when it was the time to feed people with food, I mean, they were preferring, it was better for them to destroy the food than feed people with it, and they let starve people. That's the point. The Multigun Man. I started watching the Walking Dead episode 15 minutes ago, and I'm watching your live stream during the commercial breaks. Okay, that's better than nothing. Grizzly Germ. Okay, you have been here, and the healthcare sucks. Uh, funny. I mean, really funny because I'm there. I'm here. I live. I mean, maybe we need to wait sometimes. Maybe we have waiting times, but seriously, we have no problems, and the poor of the poor are able to be saved, and this is the reason why we live healthy. So seriously, I mean, when there was the H1N1 crisis, Quebec was the number one champion for the vaccine. So we have succeeded to do vaccination to more people by inhabitant than anybody in the world. Society's healthcare just manage you into the grave. That's why Canadians all come here for anything serious. That's not a fact. The people that are going to the United States, they just want to avoid the lineup. This is kind of people like hockey players, example. They want to have they got like a non-emergency and something that isn't an emergency for the common person. So they got like an injury that could wait a little bit, but they don't want to wait. They want to have an intervention right now, so they are going in the United States for that. This is the majority of the stuff. Rich people that want to avoid the lineup, even if the lineup is not so long, are going to the United States. And the second thing is that this is for really, really, really specialized sickness, or the people are going in the United States instead to be there. And you need to understand that a country with 360 million of people will able to form more specialists, really like people that are specializing in really, really niche stuff. And the question, and this is the question that you cannot. Here we are 8 million people in Quebec. You cannot form that much of a really, really, really specialist that knows really stuff, really that niche stuff like that. So the question, if you have a really rare sickness, you don't find really the specialist 100% where you are always. Sometimes you need to go abroad because you have unheard a few number, a very small few numbers of specialists on Earth, and you go where they are. But the United States is a bigger country, so they have more of that specialist. But it doesn't mean that the population generally can have access to that specialist more than here. In fact, generally, this is the opposite. Not just that, I mean, cancer patient and heart patient that have come here because the government wanted them to keep waiting as they were dying, not because they were dying. The people, no, you don't wait here until you die. They are panic people, consider that this is impossible for them to wait longer, and they are rich and they want to avoid the lineup. So they are going to the United States because they are ready to pay for it. Okay, but we don't have here lineups that we have unpleasant lineup, but not dangerous lineup. So if you have a cancer and you have chance to die from it, you'll be put in priority and you've got the services for that. But if someone have like a really like a non-emergency situation and they are so panicked about it and they have the money to go there, so they go there. And they also, another stuff, that there are a lot of anti public health care propaganda here also. In my area, we have far right radio station, and they are spreading false information on a daily basis about that. That without a doubt, they receive money from healthcare insurance, and that's point that people are doing false information. That's bring a lot of people to panic, We can find sometimes there are people that they are like squeezed into situation. We got a very sad situation when a person was suffering from a problem with his intestine, but to get the operation, he needed to have a prostate operation before. The prostate operation was not an emergency, and on the other side, this insistent operation was a little bit more emergency, but they were not able to do it before the prostate emergency, and that people was really angry for that, and it arrived in the newspaper. They fixed that. So the problem is that there was a problem of communication. They they didn't explain exactly this. The people on the side of the prostate intervention didn't get the right information to be able to understand that in fact the prostate operation in that case was an emergency, because the person was waiting for an intestine intervention that was an emergency, and it had been fixed. So there are no perfect system, and sometimes for some people they try to run away from it because they believe some bad propaganda. Other people have to go see specialists that doesn't exist here. Sometimes there are technology that exist in some country, they are not. Example, in Germany, when they had a kind of technology that bringing them to do an intervention that was better than here, and some people wanted to get that intervention. They had the money, they were going to Germany, but generally it's a question of time before the technology transferred between the country of the West. Maurice Germ, he was dying because of the bureaucracy. This is what he said to you, maybe, but I'm not sure this is the case. And when the people are really get to have, I can say, when the people has really strong sickness, when the people are afraid to die. Sometimes they are just denying the fact that there are maybe no possibility to save them, or maybe they are panicking. So when you speak, this is all the same with healthcare. When in case of healthcare and people need to have intervention and everything, everyone want to heal as fast as possible. Nobody want to die. Nobody want to have complication. And in that case, maybe the people are panicking and trying to find a solution that are not good ideas, but they are doing it, spending money for that. Yes, but Rizal Germ, I explained to you what happened with the bureaucratic problem that first isn't linked to public health care. That kind of problem exists also in the country when you have public health care. Secondly, there are people that got that kind of problem, but in the United States could not be ill at all because they don't have the money for get to the hospitals. But in that case, at least when this is public health care, they can fight to get better services because the state has the duty to give it. So that person, when she goes in the newspapers and she was the person about who I speak was not rich, should in the United States had never had, I think, any insurance. So in that case, that person that in the United States had just not been able, had not just been able to go to the hospitals and fix that problem, and here was able to go in the newspaper and said, why the state don't give me proper services? They are bureaucratic problem. Why it's not fixed? And it had been fixed, and at this time, that person, I think, lived properly. So the question is that you have the possibility here, if you don't have proper services, to critique the government and to critique the public services, and it can be fixed because the government has the duty to give you that health care. In the United States, the government doesn't have the duty to be sure that you got that health care, so they can let you die. And that's the differences. So, Bird of Prey, I like the days we used to talk about the Momo challenge before the virus. Tiki of Doom, who was the hottest Ferengi woman? I don't care. Multi-Gunman, I remember talking about superiority of Karoga over Kurdistan. Result Germ, only after the stat was embarrassed into it. Yes, but this is the case if you are in a situation, Result Germ, where you need to, when you are in a situation, Result Germ, where they are a problem, you have the possibility to shame that state when the state has duty to take care of you. But if it doesn't have the duty, what you are doing? Even if you shame it, people say, I don't care. Here, we don't care, take care of you. We don't have the duty to just die. Cinnabon Money is challenging Momo. That's weird, Cinnabon, because generally this is Momo. Momo challenged the people. Nobody challenged Momo. And so where you are going with that? This is interesting. I want to know about that. Because Momo is the challenger. Momo is a challenger. You know? Momo is never challenging. So maybe you are a part of the solution. Maybe you can challenge Momo and put him in a situation where, it's not bad. Without Jerem, you just, I believe I can crush Momo. Okay, but Cinnabon, buddy, you can crush Momo, but not by doing his challenge. But now you open a gate. If we challenge Momo, think about it. Result Jam, you just made me throw up a little bit ticky. What he said. Once again, Cinnabon, I wait for no one to challenge me. Dueling pistol at them. No, don't that kind of challenge. You need to challenge Momo to do something that put Momo in problem. Maybe Momo, the challenger, will unable to say no. We don't know. The Multigun Man. I challenge Momo to arm wrestling match of one of Alexand's live stream. Maybe challenge him. He's on Twitter. Momo the Challenger. Momo the Challenger is on Twitter, and you can challenge him if you want, Multigun Man. Don't lose a chance. Bird of Prey 5. Did we see any Ferengi woman besides Moogie and the one who had a crush on Quark? And not so much. They are Ide and Nake. We don't see them. So, Tiki of Doom, nice. Okay, this is because Resolute Germs is laughing about the question of the naked Ferengi. No, that's funny. I agree. So, guys, now, so as you can see, I have my new Mebel here. And this is really more, and you see the action figure has more space. They are standing a little bit more than before. And they are like, on that old Mebel, there was a place for the CDs. So my music CDs, and I think maybe they are in that Mebel. I put some of them, I will be able to put them there. And it will free some space for other things. As you can see now, there it was full here. This was all the spirits. We have the spirits here, but now the spirits is under the computer there. So here we'll have more place for Conan the Barbarian. So as you can see, right now at the first stage we have like Conan again. I received some of the Conan of Dark Horse. I don't know what's waiting for it. That here it is Vampire Archives, but we'll expand there. Conan, Dark Horse, Conan, we have like in trade paperback, this is 39 trade paperbacks. You have, there are 22 trade paperbacks from all the Conan adventures. And after that, what you see there is Gail Kim. This is a wrestler, Bird of Prey. This is a wrestler. She was in Impact Wrestling. And she's the Korean from Toronto, and she's a legend of wrestling. She was in Impact Wrestling. Simon Bunny said, space to display all your trophies for winning the Momo. I don't have any trophies about the Momo Challenge. I always refuse to do the Momo Challenge. Conan and Zorro. Conan is great. Zorro, I think I will do Zorro, but this is not in my emergence. It's not my priority, but I can show you something here that I have that is really cool. I have here. Oh shit! Please don't fall. I need to have something to help. I have here, like you can see. I will try to show it properly. This is Zorro. This is the Lone Ranger and Zorro together. Ticket of Doom, as you can see, the Lone Ranger and Zorro. And also I have another one I will show to you. That is great. This is here. I will take it. Ah, it's there. This is Django and Zorro. That's a Django on chain and Zorro in the same story. And, Quentin Tarantino has been part of the people that wrote that comics books. So here you have it. This one is a hardcover. This is made by Dynamite. So if you like Zorro, you can buy it. There are a lot of they still have a lot of them on the internet. Or you can go to your local comic shop and buy one of them. Hardcover is named the official sequel to Django Unchained, Django Zorro. And they are speaking right now to do it as a movie because Tarantino participated to write that. So I think maybe we'll get that on cinema. Wasn't Lone Ranger just a ripoff of Zorro? No, this is different. Zorro and the Lone Ranger have been inspired by different character. So the Lone Ranger have been inspired by Texas Rangers from the has been inspired by Afro-Americans that was like a ranger himself in the area of before the Oklahoma. It was like where there was the Indian territories, peaceful Indian territories, something like that. And for Zorro, he have been inspired by Mexican vigilantes. So you can find it on YouTube. They are interesting stuff, but no, they are coming from different characters. Tiki of Doom, interesting. I might check out for that Django Zorro book. You should. It's not so much expensive, I will have the price, $30 US, and this is a hardcover, and you have a lot of pages. I think this is a good hardcover. This is a book, in fact, and all the comics is there, and they are speaking to make that as a movie. So you should take the comics, and I said Quentin Tarantino participate to that. It was a crossover Dynamite Vertigo, as I can see here. So that's interesting. Cinnamon Bunny says Zorro sounds a lot like Momo is suspicious. This is the same voyel, but this is not the same thing. Obviously, Zorro is a hero, and Momo is a monster. Not Ryan Johnson. Cult of Cornet, more like Cult of Momo. No, you can compare Cornet to Momo. Jim Cornette and Momo are completely different persons. Jim Cornette is an ex-manager in radio and wrestling, doing radio right now, and Momo the Challenger is an evil challenger that came back on Twitter. Are you into any other pulp characters? I like the Green Hornet really much. I like Deja Torres in the world of Mars. Not Ryan Johnson. Cornet is not the original Momo. Stop that. Please, this is not the case. Not Ryan Johnson. No, Cornet is an asshole, but not evil. What the hell? Why you say that, Mr. Chair? I like Jim Cornette. So take him to, yes, I like the spirit a lot. I have the Green Hornet, the Lone Ranger. I like Zorro too. Conan is part of that category. You can say that because Conan was like and pulp fantasy, something like that. So he's part of it. I'm more in pulp fiction than in science fiction. Fiction, I'm gonna say. I like Cole really much. Cole is really good. Conan, Cole, Red Sonja. Red Sonja is it's part. The characters that from the Conan universe that had their own title, I like really much. Sylvan Bunny said, "It must be a bitch for Momo to get contact lenses." Yes, you see the eyes of Momo. I mean, this is really impressive. Impressive, not in a good way. I still think that this is someone that Momo and their origin, but someone in California that got genital gangrene and didn't cure genital gangrene, so the gangrene spread all over his body. He lost his mind, and right now is challenging people in voting for Trump. This is my theory, but maybe I'm wrong. But I think this is the case. But yes, is Rizal Gem. Yes, Cornet is really tough with the like the fans of AEW example really much. You don't like that kind of stuff. You have a really fixed idea of what should be wrestling, and you really when people are watching wrestling as a funny stuff that is supposed to be as I said, um, I mean he lost his mind, but I mean he loved wrestling that is supposed to be so. The Multigun Man. I have a set of Archie cover books similar to your Conan hardcover books. Do you speak about similar to that kind of stuff? Archie has his own set of superheroes, like it was the Patriot, I think, the ancestor of Captain America. In fact, Captain America is a ripoff of a character that the company of Archie created. Yeah, so I mean, but it's surely a lot of stuff because Hershey in monthly. I mean, because I just watch all the stuff from Conan that I have one, two, and after that will that's no joke. Just in the bibliotheques Conan when I will get all the Savage Sword of Conan and all the trade paper Dark Horse, it will be three tablets of the library. I suppose that's Archie's, not so far from that. Not Ryan Johnson. Momo writes for Star Trek Picard. I don't know if Momo is able to write. Seriously, may be able to write simple sentences like "I challenge you" or "Are you afraid of the challenge?" But he's really limited. I mean, if my theory is good, that there's someone that this genital gangrene spread to the rest of his body and he became insane. I mean, it's really limited what he can write. So I'm not sure he's writing like script for Picard or anything else on TV. I mean, he doesn't have, and I think he never had the possibility to do that, the ability to do that. That's the point. He's just a challenger, nothing more. While I can show to you right now, I study because this is not an emergency for me to buy that, but I saw a good deal for that. I'm a big fan of the Green Hornet, but unfortunately, Dynamite didn't succeed to do with the Green Hornet what Dark Horse did, example with Conan, and what DC Comics did with the Spirit when they produced all the archives like that. So for now, Dynamite succeed in the old stuff. I hope it's not gonna fall. And the old stuff, Dynamite published for the Green Hornet the what the fuck, Golden Age Remaster. Uh, that's the first, I think, the first six. Can watch it there? So because of the light, that's the first six. Yes, first six comics that have been done about the Green Hornet. But this is in the. I'm pretty sure that this comics from the 40s. In fact, a long time ago is when the Green Hornet adds his full face, like in the movies from Republic. So they succeed to do that. So a little bit, I will close it again because it felt. It was one of the big books. I need to find something to keep the books in a better way. That's not the best situation for that. But one of the biggest publisher, they are, well, of course, Dynamite did a lot of Green Hornet, but one of the biggest, the other biggest publisher of the Green Hornet in history, this is Now. You can see this is like in the 80s and the 90s. So here you have the Green Hornet again. That's the first from the volume 2. It was in September, I think, 1991. In that case, you have here the Tales of the Green Hornet. That's the miniseries. Like here, this is again published by Now, but there are no trade paperback. This is single comics there. You have what the fuck. You have here a good night, Brother Prey. Glad that you were there. And you have here the first, that's volume 1. I have only number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 here. Can see, I will show you one that, so that's the old Green Hornet in the 90s. So this one is really the first, this is even not the 90s, it's I think 1989 in that case. So this is I will try to do that. I found on eBay a good deal. Watching because I'm thinking I need to fix. When I'm doing with my money, I need to check the money I have to spend in my wedding and all that stuff. But this one would be. That collection for me is important because I want to have all the stuff from the Green Hornet, and Now Comics is one of the bigger publisher of the Green Hornet in history. I mean, this is old style of drawing. This one is not so bad. I mean, I prefer the art in that one. And this is comics from the 80s and the 90s. So all of them we have color inside because. They are old stuff from the comics from that time, 1790s, 17s, less the 80s, but a lot in the 60s, 70s that they are in black and white. I have all the Savage Sword of Conan here. They are all in black and white, so I can show you here. Savage Sword of Conan was also always in black and white, as you can see here. But this wasn't in French. This is a French version by Panini Comics. Where people know Panini's, they are doing the stickers, sports stickers, and start. I had like when I was young, the Hulk Hogan sticker book. When we have collection, you can see. So they are like this is an Italian. This is an Italian company, Panini, and but they are publishing in France. And this is in French for the Savage Sword of Conan. Savage Sword of Conan, La Collection. La Collection, Réunion Écarlate. So it's look really interesting. Here you have like a good draw with a piece of art. Conan is jumping. Like you can see the bones here. You have the impression that that stuff have got some influence on the film the movie Red Sonja. I don't know if you remember the movie Red Sonja, but Red Sonja had like exactly that as a bridge. There was a bridge like a kind of skeletons where they are crossing, and maybe I should watch the date, but maybe it have been one inspired the others. So Conan Property International LLC 1986. So I need to watch. Yeah, so it was that draw is from 1986. I need to watch Red Sonja film movie. Red Sonja movie. It's from I think maybe with 1986. I'll watch Red Sonja the movie. No, 1985. So it's look that this is the movie that is inspired. So maybe it's kind of classical. So I mean, maybe we'll find that in the Conan books more before. So now Conan is that's a really pretty girl here. That's so it's great drawing. I like it pretty much. Even that's great because they were able to do pretty draw and pretty comics only with black and white, and it has its own style. I like it. So I will. What we have here? So So, guys, I think that at 1 hour, more than 1 hour of streaming, I need to sleep soon, and I have some stuff to do. I was really glad to speak with you. Always the same group of people. All the best. Tiki of Doom, Resolute Jam, Not Ryan Johnson, Cinnabon Bunny, Alberto Prey, the Multigun Man. I mean, DJ Odyssey was not there today, but he's part of the good guys. And Resolute Germ, I named you before. So I was really glad today to get all of you here. I mean, that's a good conversation we have each time. And of course, we are all together against Momo Challenge. Don't forget to wash your hands. Don't follow the instruction of the charlatans. Don't believe the charlatans. And that's a point. So we will see each other. So tomorrow I'm working. A little bit surprised that nobody called me to work this night. I mean, the guy's working at night to the hotel at 73 years old. He should not go to work, especially not at that hotel because there are cases there. But he decide to go work anyway. This is his choice. I respect that. We'll see. Maybe in the future he will try to. Maybe he will change his mind this week. But I'm ready to replace him. I will do overtime for now. I have only 40 hours. So please be careful. Have a good time. Maybe we'll speak again tomorrow. We'll see. I will be glad about it. If you have some of your friends, that are not named example, that are not part of the trio or fans of the trio, and they want to have good conversation and being intelligent and not being charlatans and like comics, you can send invitation to them. I mean the channel for now because obviously I have my detractor, and I'm not publishing any kind of. I don't publish in any kind of videos for now. Still need to learn about it. So I have only 44 subscribers. Why I believe that in the future we'll have more of them. So DTA, Charlene and G-Man like. I don't understand Resolute Jam. So have a good night. I know that Sci-Fi Nation will stream later and cannot be on the stream. I need to sleep. So thank you to have been there today, and we'll speak really more. And by the way, I mean all that people. Tiki of Doom and the Epic Bird. I will. The Epic Bird was there. I didn't name you before. I name you the Epic Bird. You are amazing. That should be charlatan. I don't know. So 9 likes. I mean, one day we'll have 10 of them. Thumbs up, we'll have 10 thumbs up. This is our expectation. My goal for the subscribe, I want before March to have at least 50 subscribers and get some video with 10 thumbs up. Multi-gunman, I'm glad. I'm always glad to stream. I'm glad to stream when we are there and you come to speak with me. Yes, Epic Bird, you are amazing and you are epic and you are like, you have a bird too. So that I don't have it. Now I shaved. I'll look more as a humankind that tomorrow when I get crazily, when I get insanely angry against the charlatan. But I mean, that's life, you know. So I have a good one right now. I need to go. So take care and wash your hands. Don't do the Momo challenge.